Cocking before firing. The cocking handle is pulled all the way to the rear. The weapon is cocked. The cocking handle is pushed forward and the weapon put on safe. The feed cover is raised and the belt positioned on the feed tray. The weapon must be cocked and placed on safe before insertion of the magazine. The weapon is placed on fire. The nominal cyclic rate of fire of the C9 light machine gun is 750 rounds per minute. Belt feed. Magazine feed. From firing to locking, the cycle of operation takes 7/100ths of a second.
For nearly 50 years, the FN Mini-Me, also known as the M249 SAW, has remained one of the most effective machine guns in the world. Originally designed by FN Herstal in 1974, the FN Mini-Me, also known as the M249 SAW, has continually proven its effectiveness on the modern battlefield. Carrying inspiration from the MG42, the M249 SAW is an incredibly reliable weapon, that is, when it is properly cleaned and lubed. However, today we're not going to go over the history of this weapon, as I have an entire video dedicated to it. If you want to know more about the M249 SAW and its iterations, check out this video here. You can also find the link to it in the description below. In Insurgency Sandstorm, the M249 SAW is one of the cheapest machine guns you can pick up early in the game. With a fast fire rate and a high capacity magazine, it is undoubtedly a very useful weapon in the game. Coming with many accessories, the M249 SAW is very versatile in the game as well. Usually used for medium to long range distance gunfights, but it can also be used in short range gunfights as well. And with certain muzzle devices, you can control the recoil a little bit better, such as with the suppressor or muzzle brake. I personally find it the most controllable while using a suppressor. In fact, my favorite setup is an EOTech holographic sight with a laser aiming device and suppressor. This makes it incredibly effective at short to medium range distances, but can be a little bit hard to use at long range distances. For long range distances, you're going to be wanting to use magnified optics such as the ACOG, LCAN, and others. You can even put a magnifier behind your optic if you feel called to do so, although I do prefer the ACOG or the LCAN over an EOTech with a magnifier any day. So here are my several recommendations for how to customize your M249 for its utmost effectiveness. Number 1, and this is my personal favorite. If you're planning on doing CQB and clearing houses and buildings with the SAW, which is not recommended, I would highly recommend using an EOTech, preferably with a suppressor as well. This will give you an excellent field of view as you'll be able to see around the optic as well as through it, and with the addition of a suppressor, the recoil management won't be an issue. However, and this is the case just for me, I feel like when I use an EOTech with just the bare muzzle on, it's a little bit too unwieldy to use. However, that is my experience and my experience alone, and if you feel like it's just fine, go right ahead. Number 2 is the ACOG with an RMR on top. The Trijicon ACOG and RMR combo is one of the best optic devices I've ever seen in real life and in video games. Combining the ability to hit out to long range and close quarters, it is extremely effective. I personally find it really useful when switching from long range to short range distances, as when I go to the RMR it allows me to look around faster. The reticle on the ACOG in the game as well is also my favorite reticle in the entire game. I find it incredibly easy to pinpoint my target in comparison to some of the other long range optics in the game, such as the LCAN. The pinpoint precise dot on the RMR is also extremely effective, allowing me to hit targets from around 50 to 100 meters away. Proven to be extremely reliable in real life, both the Trijicon ACOG and RMR are going to be sticking on my M249 for a long time. And coming in last in my top 3 category is the Elcan with a loophole doctor on top of it. This optics combination is one of the most common seen in the global war on terror, featuring the renowned Elcan Spectre, which has been claimed to be one of the best optics for medium to long range distances. Commonly seen on the M249 as well as the FN Scar and even Mark 18 and M4A1 Block 2, the Elcan Spectre, also known as the SU-231, is one of the most common seen optics for a reason. Used for its high effectiveness, the Elcan Spectre has been in use with Special Operations Forces and now standard infantry units since the mid-2010s. The Loophole Doctor was selected to be a combination with the Elcan Spectre as a part of the SOTMOD Block 2 program, with Loophole being one of America's longest-lasting optics manufacturers. The Loophole is one of the most reliable red dot sights available and has been in use for over a decade and a half. The reason this comes in third place instead of tied with the ACOG or even over the ACOG is simply because of the reticle on the Elcan. Although the reticle on the Elcan is one of my favorite in the game and in real life, it is not up to the standard that I'm used to for making precise shots at medium to long range distances. With the ACOG's bright red reticle, I find it very easy to pinpoint my targets and take long distance shots. This is really helpful on maps such as Tideway or Farmhouse, which are known to have many instances of long range gunfights. The Elcan's reticle can be helped though with the addition of the laser aiming module. This helps by leaving a red dot in the middle of the Elcan's reticle, which allows you to be more accurate, or at least it does for me. Other than that, it's pretty much a tie between the Trijicon RMR and ACOG combination and the Elcan and Doctor combination, although it is still up to you to decide which one you would prefer to use. So if you want my recommendation for the ultimate customized M249 SAW, I'd go with an EOTech, a laser aiming device, and a suppressor. Those are the accessories I found the most useful and effective for my kill ratios. Well, that about does it for the 4th episode of Game Guns. This so far has been one of my favorite series to do on the channel. So far in regards to Insurgency Sandstorm, this is the 3rd video. The first video was on the M16A2, the cheapest gun in the game, and the second one was on the AKM, both of which you can find links for in the description. I love video games, and being able to make content regarding them is so much fun in comparison to some of the other stuff I've made in the past. And I hope to those of you that are still watching have enjoyed the series thus far. I don't know which gun I'll go over next, but I'm sure it'll be something interesting for you guys. But if there's a particular gun in the game that you love and want me to go over, please leave a comment, and I promise to look into it. The M249 SAW, or the FN Mini-Me, is my favorite gun of all time, to the point I've even applied for the position of a machine gunner in the Canadian Armed Forces. And I am thoroughly excited to get my hands on with the FN Mini-Me whenever I get through the application process. I even have my own replica that I use to train sometimes with clearing jams and other stuff, which you can see here. It was originally modeled after a Colt Canada C9A2, but eventually this 3D printed stock on the back broke off, and I decided to just make it a custom C9A2 that I called a C9A2 Mod 1.5. It's basically my take on a modernized C9, and I hope some of you guys think it's cool because I certainly do. But with all that being said, I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this video. It was a blast to make, and I look forward to making more in the future. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and if you could, do me a huge favor and hit the hype button, I'd be extremely grateful. But with all that being said, this has been Matthew from Discreet Resolve Coalition, and I will see you guys next time.
The belt ammunition feed cycle. During the forward movement of the piston extension, the round on the feed tray slot is struck by the bolt feed horn, dislodged from the belt link, and chambered. Top view of the action. As the piston extension and feed roller move forward, the round on the feed tray slot is dislodged from the belt.